Thank you so much for joining us in Sportsville this beautiful Sunday, and indeed we welcome you, and I must tell you that we have very interesting stories that definitely will make up your Sunday entertainment, and of course we have beautiful analysts who are going to also complement what we have here. Equally, we have some people that we're going to talk to, people who know, people who of course stay with the players, and we're looking at the AFCON qualifiers, a very important one between Nigeria and Libya. The Libyan team, they have really been loquacious, and Gernot Rohr and his team have been quiet, preferring to do the talking on the pitch. Today, we'll be talking to Tony Ibitoye, a man who knows, a man who stays and of course eats and drinks and lives with the Super Eagles. Tony Ibitoye will be on this program, and of course he's going to tell us everything you need to know about the Super Eagles who will be arriving camp tomorrow. Tony Ibitoye is our guest, and so also we have some ex-internationals, that are equally going to, talk about Gernot Rohr's army that are going to face the Libyan army. That's what I call them. It's a thing that Nigeria do not want to repeat. Nigeria wants to go to the Nations Cup. They do not want to miss it. But I must tell you, very loaded program we have. The Youth Olympics is on in Argentina, and Nigeria already have sent their own squad there. The Nigerian flag is already fluttering in the air, and we'll just be getting impacts and of course do some analysis on this. But I have also Oluchi Tobex, the one they call the baby of the house, and of course a young man that is brimming with so much idea that is just making his impact on television. But I must tell you that the cap fits the young man. His name is Matthew Okugbe. Together, we'll be bringing up beautiful programs, for your Sunday relaxation. We ask you to stay behind, because when we come back, we'll just go into the top news and, of course, introduce our guests. Stay tuned.
Keep watching Sportsville.
Okay, welcome back to Sportsville, and we have Oluchi Tobex, baby of the house. I saw you jumping up and down at the National Stadium, during the Bet Niger Swan Cup.
Thank you so much, Tony. It's a pleasure to be here once again. It was heartwarming also seeing you leading the Swan Warriors against Fools. It's good to know that apart from sports, you can also translate it when it comes to technical issues.
Thank you so much, Oluchi. I must tell you that football was my first call, if not for a nagging injury in a very dangerous place. Let's just leave it like that, and welcome this very young man that I've been talking about, Matthew Okugbe. You're welcome.
Yeah, it feels great to be on Sportsville, and once again, I'm happy to note that some of us have been able to prove to some of our colleagues that we really can hold our own when it comes to playing football.
Matthew, please, let's not just go into details, because your performance has really been, raising a lot of dust here. But I must tell you that it was a very wonderful thing for us to be at the National Stadium, where we played, exercise, and of course, true banters with ex-internationals like Friday Lahore, Ekpo, and Joe, Eriko, Ikpeba, Godwin Opara. They were all there, and of course they will also be making appearances on this program. But let's go straight to the top news, where we give you latest information and things that are coming. We begin with the National Sports Festival Southwest Zonal Eliminations, earlier scheduled to hold at the Obafemi Awolowo Stadium in Ibadan between 9th and 14th of October 2018 has been postponed. This is contained in a press statement issued by the zonal coordinator, Mr. Olufemi Ajao. He attributed the postponement to the pleas by the states in the zone in order to give room for active participation and successful eliminations devoid of inequality and favoritism. The eliminations has been shifted by week, and it will now hold from October 16th to 21. Ology.
Yes, 1 week will not do so much damage. A game that everybody is trying as much as possible to resurrect, and I hope that all hands must be on deck to make sure that we bring back the sports alive. Okay,
bring back the sports alive. And talking about that, the Olympic Games, talking about the Youth Olympic Games is on in Argentina, and Nigeria already have 17 athletes that are bearing our flags there. Team Nigeria will feature in athletics, badminton, boxing, canning, golf, table tennis, and wrestling at the games, which holds from October 6th to October 18th. Matthew?
Yes, the essence of this tournament in particular is to give the lads the desired exposure, give them the enabling environment to be able to express themselves and guide them to become future champions as far as the Olympic is concerned.
Yeah, talking about still on the Youth Olympics, Oluchi, there's been a lot of controversy that was stirred at the week, talking about the number of athletes and that of the accompanying officials.
Yes, it is our duty, as media practitioners to bring this to the notice of everybody and also stand as checkmating the authorities concerned. It doesn't really make sense when you have about 17 athletes, representing us as against tripling the numbers of officials that is going down there with them. A good example is a country like South Africa, that's presenting about 70 athletes. For me, it is not all about winning medals, but it is about giving these young lads the opportunity to represent the country in terms of exposure, and challenging their other peers. And when they come back, they are back with confidence. They can also improve on their last performance, and that is the exact thing when you're talking about grassroots.
Okay, thank you so much, and I hope that the officials involved will definitely take a very good note on this. It's not always good for Nigeria to go out and of course bring a lot of disturbing news about some negative issues about officials being more than the combatants themselves, and I hope that the welfare of the athletes will always be at the uppermost of everything that they do. And there was also another disturbing one that happened at the weekend, talking about Enyimba Football Club of Nigeria, have their CAF Confederation Cup final hopes hanging in the balance after suffering a 1-0 humiliation to Rajas Casablanca of Morocco in the first leg of the semi-final in Aba. An early strike by Abdullah Hafidi in the second gave the Moroccans the huge advantage as Stanley Dimba failed to convert a penalty kick in open play. The return leg holds on October 24th by 8 p.m. in Morocco. Matthew?
Enyimba had their destinies in their hands and they failed to make it happen. The same stadium they put Rayon Sports to the sword. Many would have expected that they would bring their A game to bear and ensure they get at least the maximum win in that one. Be that as it may, their coach came out a couple of days back, said and attributed the defeat to fatigue, in which I don't want to agree with. But let's see. Football, it is not over until it's over. Let's see how much they would be able to put this defeat behind them and at least focus on the return leg in Raja.
Okay, I think it's a very huge mountain for Enyimba to climb, knowing the fanaticism about the Moroccans when they play, knowing how important it is, and of course they are very familiar with Enyimba when it comes to the Champions League. But Enyimba is now playing at the Confederations Cup, which so many people expected so much from Enyimba. Just like Matthew said, of course we saw what they did to Rayon, scoring almost about 5 times. But this time around, Enyimba even had a penalty. And now, too many other people, Tarilo Kurunwata, for instance, has blamed squarely the Nigeria Football Federation for conjunctions of fixtures that made the Enyimba team, to get tired before the match against Raja.
Yes, I'm also tilting a little bit towards that direction, although that is not the 100% excuse for you to say, because apart from the penalty loss and a shot on target that came off a defender, there was nothing much to write about the attacking powers of the team. But when you're in a competition, both in the ITO Cup and in the continent, you are there for you to win. So even if you have a congregation of players, a pool that you can put of, everybody wants to stick with their first 11 or their best legs in winning every other match. They traveled by road, and I'm sure one of the fixtures that they also went was in Gombe, and all the way again to Aba, to come and play. So the days were just too close by. So if the coach, a very experienced coach that I know is very serious, he doesn't give undue excuses. If he can come out to say it's fatigue that is one of the reasons that made them not to win that particular match, I will also agree with him.
Like we always do on this program, we also put a call to Demola Olajire, who is the spokesperson of the Nigeria Football Federation, and he said that there was nothing like that Enyimba should face their defeat squarely and of course go in one team, that they can as well turn the tables in Morocco. He said that everywhere in the world fixtures have always been like that. Some clubs play up to 4 matches in a week, and that the Enyimba has been so much experience. We urge you to pray so that the Enyimba International Football Club, the only club that has won the Champions League twice for Nigeria, and of course stand on the threshold of also overturning, the 1-0 they got from home out there in Morocco. They can do it. That is sports, and I believe that Enyimba, the Spartan spirit of Enyimba, will definitely see them climb that mountain and come back with so much success. That's exactly what we pray. But before we go finish on top news, let's also say that the national women basketball team, the Tigress, have moved 15 places from 34th position to 19th in the latest FIBA ranking released on Friday. This rise was as a direct effect of their commanding show at the just concluded World Cup in Spain. Nigeria played so many games, and of course, the first half of the quarterfinal, they got wins over Turkey, Argentina, and Greece before they succumbed to almighty United States of America. Matthew?
Yes, the girls truly made us proud. They finished 8th at the FIBA World Cup, the highest feat ever attained by an African side. It tells you that we have a bunch of ladies who should be able to make us at least take our basketball to the next level if given the right kind of support. The coaches and the administrators, I think they did a lot, because I was in their camp a couple of times before they left for the tournament, and these girls were already booming in confidence. For me, it wasn't a surprise they were able to attain that feat. Let's see how we take it from here.
If we close ranks, I think Nigeria will have a lot of potentials for us to do well, and that has shown. Once these results were coming, we are not talking about factions, and I believe that the Nigerian team have done absolutely well. Kudos to the Tigress, and of course that's also a clarion call to the male, direct challenge to the male team, and I know that the Nigerian team, wherever they play, we definitely do well. This is also asking that the team that is representing Nigeria at the Olympic team, talking about the youth team in Argentina, will do us proud. Stay tuned, because when we come back, the program continues. It's still Sportsville. Okay, yeah, welcome back to Sportsville. And indeed, tomorrow, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will start flying into Nigeria, and of course, the onward journey to Akwa Ibom, Uyo State in particular, where they will be converging before the match against Libya. We know that the Nations Cup has been a very tricky one for Nigeria, knowing that we missed, 2 times, and we do not want to miss this. We have somebody, a very big name, Toyin Ibitoye, who we caught up, who is going to tell us about, the preparation and how the Eagles and when they are coming in. Only on this program can you get, a very big fish like Toyin Ibitoye speak on this. Toyin.
Yes, the game is a very crucial game. We'll be playing next Saturday, 13th of October. We expect that the players will start to arrive. Some players are going to be playing today in the league, in their different clubs. And so we expect that from tomorrow they begin to arrive. And usually we may not have a full house until Tuesday afternoon. But the way our camp is structured and the way our coaches work, immediately the players start to arrive in camp from tomorrow, work will begin. Because there will be sessions in the gym, there will be sessions for recovery, and then to freshen up the players for the task ahead. So we are good to go. Our prayer is that nobody will be injured today for their different clubs, so that everybody that we have called up can turn up for the game. We need all our best players around. This is a very crucial game, a winnable game for us, and we want to give our best, because it's a long time we were at the Nations Cup, and we believe if we can get good results in the 2 games, on Saturday 13th and on Tuesday 16th, will be as good as being in the Nations Cup. We can win in Uyo on Saturday, and Tunisia is well, not Africa, but is also winnable. So we will try to win on Saturday, boost our confidence, and then take it into the next game on Tuesday. 4 points is achievable, 6 points is achievable, but the minimum we want from these 2 games is 4.
Okay, thank you so much, Toyin Ibitoye. That's the man that knows. Toyin Ibitoye, a very fantastic journalist himself, who of course has been working with the Super Eagles. He has just told us when the Super Eagles are coming, and of course it's an important match for us, and we want to go straight to begin to look at the players who are going to perform for Nigeria at Uyo against Multi Libya. Yes, indeed, their coach has really been very bragging of how they are going to get all the points from Nigeria. but we'll keep quiet because Gernot Rohr is not a man that plays mind games. But let's just go straight to tell you that in the month of September, we are looking at Francis Odenaka, who is a goalkeeper. He's 19 years of age, and then of course he plays for Elche in Spain. One game he had 90 minutes, and of course there was no goal. Daniel Akwe, 32 years, he plays for Chippa United in South Africa. He has made appearances too, and of course played 180 games, no goal from the goalkeeper. Ololuwa, 21, Torino in Italy, and of course he has had 5 games and 360 minutes, yet no goal. And Shehu Abdullahi, 25 years, who plays for Bursaspor in Turkey, he's yet to test any game. Matthew, these are just the players that I've just mentioned, and you can see from what we have seen, the goalkeepers, Uzoho Akpe, they have had, Uzoho has had 1, sure, and Akpe has had 2. With Akpe has, of course, has many more minutes, playing.
For the national team, over times we've had goalkeepers who really do not stay in between the sticks for their clubs, but they don the national colours and they do very well. What really caught my attention in the heart of the defence is the defensive pairing of Leon Balogun and Troost-Ekong, who would see once again after the World Cup. Against Seychelles, our defence was a little bit shaky because Troost-Ekong wasn't in that one. It was a pairing between Leon Balogun and Kenneth Omeru, and they almost conceded. Now we see this rock solid combination, and Jude Abdullahi is once again with the team. I saw him in our World Cup qualifier against Zambia, and he was superb. Thereafter, he's just called out of the team. Thank God that the manager is beginning to look at this direction. Hopefully, he will bring that level of solidity, that bite that is missing, especially in the left back. Once to this, I think it's a good list. No doubt about that.
We also have Ola Olua. I know. Yeah. He has had about 5 games and then 360 minutes, and so also Semi Ajayi, who has had 5 games, 450 minutes, and Brian Idowu, 3 games, 270. William Ekong, who has had 5 games, 450 minutes, and Leon Balogun is yet to start any game, for his club, Brighton and Hove in England. And Kenneth Omeru also is yet to test any game. But then Jamilu Collins, has had 4 games and 360 minutes. That's the performance of our defenders, and we hope that when they come into play tomorrow, beginning their training, that they'll definitely, be up to the task. Only we just, before we go to the attack, let's just tell you, from the midfield that we have Ogeyi Onazi, 25 years from Trabzonspor in Turkey. He has had 4 games and 328 minutes, and of course he has registered 1 goal. And in the midfield, Wilfred Ndidi, 21, who plays for Leicester City, having 4 games, 360 minutes, yet no goal. Ogenekaro Etebo, 22, Stoke City, England, 5 games, 411 minutes, and yet he has not registered any goal. And John Ogu, 30, who plays for Hapoel Beersheva, and of course he has had 3 games, 270 minutes, and of course 1 goal. Those are our midfielders. Olucha, who wanted to talk about the midfielders, because I think the midfield has always been stable, the engine room they call it. Let's look at the forward. We have Ahmed Musa, who Gernot Rohr says is very, very hot, who plays for Al Nassr, Saudi Arabia. He has had 3 games, 270 minutes, and 3 goals.
Yes, the forward, this for me, as far as I'm concerned, I think that is the place that Gernot Rohr as an individual needs to be more open, needs to be able to take more risks in terms of it doesn't matter how many goals Jude Ighalo is churning in the Chinese league. He's not been able to replicate it when he plays for the national team. We have an Ahmed Musa that was graded, his goal was graded the 8th in Russia. This is the guy that is brimming in confidence. You could see the kind of goal he scored in Seychelles. We have Henry Onyekuru. These are guys that I expect the coach, to be able to rely more on them, give them the opportunity. If you don't take the bold step in fielding these young players, you won't be able to see what they can do.
You just talked about Henry Onyekuru. Onyekuru plays for Galatasaray in Turkey. He has had 5 games, 204 minutes. He has not registered any goal. Kelechi Iheanacho, 21, who plays for Leicester City. 5 games, 254 minutes, 1 goal. And Alex Iwobi, I've really been watching him, very interesting. He has really improved, under Emery in Arsenal. He has had 4 games, 203 minutes, and yet no goal. Samuel Carlo, 21, who plays in France. 5 games, 406 minutes, 1 goal. And Isaac Success, who plays for Watford, England. 5 games, 140 minutes, 1 goal.
Tony, as far as I'm concerned, we have players that I believe can deliver it. I know the onus just lies on the coach to give these players the opportunity to express themselves. It's good to stick to formation. It's good to stick to a set of players that you feel you can deliver. You've used a particular pointsman during the World Cup, and at the end of the day, we've seen, even before the World Cup, over 20 games, we've seen how many goals it's been. This is the time to test these new guys, and give them. Henry Ekuru is a very good player. He's not been able to score any goal, but even in the continent there in his club, you saw what he played the last time. These are players that I know that if given unfortunately for us, we've not been able to see the best of Moses Simon because he cropped up an injury before he went to the World Cup. This is another fast-paced player that can do damages from the wings. I'm happy and I pray that Ahmed Musa is consistent with his form, because any attacker that is brimming with confidence, he's done it in the World Cup. He scored against Argentina. So which other country do you think that he won't be able to
let me
score?
just cut you short. We have Odion Ighalo controversy. So many people have really been asking questions. Why Odion Ighalo? Odion Ighalo for me has really been hot in his club in China. And Matthew, I don't know what you think about that.
We have the likes of Isaac Success in the team, has been consistent for Watford despite not being able to find the back of the net for September. I think the synergy between the likes of Isaac Success and Henry Onyekuru at least have an Alex Iwobi to play behind them. Once again, I think Emery have been able to show Gernot Rohr how to ensure that he gets the best out of an Alex Iwobi. The young man understand how to play behind a striker. Don't put him behind the wings.
What about Odion Ighalo?
What's
your take on Odion Ighalo?
For Odion Ighalo, he has been firing blank for the national side. I am one of those who have said over time that the young lads should be given a chance. Henry Onyekuru has been consistent for Galatasaray in the last couple of months, and I think it is time not just bring him to the national team to sit on the bench and watch an Odion Ighalo runs for 90 minutes without making an impact. Odion Ighalo for me should sit on the bench and watch the likes of Henry Onyekuru start ahead of him.
Okay, Matthew, and sometimes some of these players, he may come to Nigeria and of course rekindle what he did against the Indomitable Lions. We pray that if he comes, he could just get away and of course prove us all wrong that he's still very much in the news for Nigeria. We spoke to ex-internationals Godwin Opara, Victor Ikpeba, Peter Rufai and Joe Eriko, people that really sparkled when they played for Nigeria. I remember that when I saw them at the weekend, when we played with them, I was just asking myself, could it be really sure that at least we're throwing banters with Peter Rufai, Joe Eriko, Godwin Opara, Victor Ikpeba. These ones were very heroes when they played for Nigeria. But here they always speak to Sportsville, and of course they spoke to us on Gernot Rohr's team ahead of the AFCON 2019 qualifiers against Libya.
If you can't compare the competition in China with the competition in European, it's not the same. The tempo of the game is different, and age is not inside. I mean, we should appreciate what he did for us. I mean, he's still trying, but we just need somebody to back him up. This is what we need to build up. We have to plan. What we have, we need to plan ahead and make sure somebody is there for him to take place. This is what we're not doing. This is one we're not doing. The days of ours, I think we will plan down to get somebody that will take place of JJ. We won't have this problem. We should start doing it now.
My concern on the national team, we should have a national team that players don't walk in and walk out as if you are entering supermarkets. National team, when you step into a national team, it's like a treasure land, where before you come into that land or country or town or city, you are scrutinized by security. Do you have the money? Are you rich enough? Are you carrying your portfolio to come and spend there. You are not just coming to make the place like it. When you carry your portfolio, you know you're going to spend your money. You know what your money, you know how you suffer in getting your money. When you step in there, you enjoy the atmosphere. But not when anybody just come in, you know.
I'm satisfied. I think it's for Nigerians to support those players. The players who were selected for the game, it's good enough to beat Libya. They have to fight for it. It's not easy. Especially we all know we lost our first game to South Africa, you know, so with the quality of players we have there, I think those players are good enough to beat the Libyan side.
Well, the players are okay. I have no listen, but it's based on the packaging of the players, how to package them up to play well and come out successful. Because those two games are very, very important, and we are going to be under pressure. The Libyans are not under pressure because they're not going to play in their own home, but they are going to play where will favor them. So they are coming here probably to get a draw, then go there and win or whatever. But we are under pressure because we must win the two games.
You're welcome back to Sportsville. How time flies. Anytime we talk sports on TV, I can't believe that what we just started in few seconds has already, gotten to a place that the producer Tayo Ogunseye is telling me to round up. It's a very beautiful thing, and indeed, I say a very big thank you for you staying out there watching us. And before we go, we just want to hear from Oluchi Tobechukwu.
Thank you so much, Tony. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to see how Liverpool will continue their good runs in the league. A coach that is very hungry for.
Well, for Liverpool, Man City, as she has just mentioned, is definitely going to be a frenetic fixture. Both teams are booming in confidence. They're very, very high based on how they play. It's definitely going to be a very, very offensive kind of game. But I think it can go either way because both sides have the quality and the personnel to make it happen. Feels great to be part of Sportsville once again.
Okay, thank you so much. If you're a fan of Liverpool or Man City, two of the great teams in the Premier League, they are lighting up your TV wherever you are. Just go straight and, of course, tune to that match. It's a match that everybody must watch because when you talk about attacking football, they are there. Talk about the players, all the very beautiful, sensational players that score very fabulous goals, are in those clubs. They don't walk alone, but Man City is indeed really very hot, for Liverpool. But I know that the better team will win on this. Just while you're watching that, we'll just say a beautiful bye-bye to you. Waiting to see you again next week.